for your time today and letting us present to you our remodeled geometric sculpture project. While redoing the project, we scaled the height and amount of metal used. We scaled the height down by half of what it was before, but still made sure that the 6 pillars of character were still going to be plasma cut out of the front 2 sides. We did this to present our growth in our community and school district. We are going to bolt the 2 tetrahedrons down to the concrete, also bolting a plaque to the concrete that will have our names plasma cut out of it, and a saying that says, creating a passion for learning that will sustain students for a lifetime. If you have any questions, please wait until the end. Thank you. I hope you enjoy our presentation. My name is Wosepka, and these are my partners, Macy Jansen and Rachel Vatney. Macy's going to start us out talking about the ratio and scale.
Thank you, Carly, for the great introduction. Like Carly said, we're doing the 3 tetrahedrons, the 3 pyramids, and the ratio and scale, we scaled it down by half of what it was before, so we have a 1:6 ratio and scale. So 1 inch on the model equals 6 inches on the real sculpture. And so the tallest one was originally 9 feet tall, now it's 4.5, and the other 2 were originally 6 feet tall, now they're 3 feet tall. And we changed them from oblique tetrahedrons to regular tetrahedrons. And the volume and surface area, the total surface area is 27.73 square feet. The total volume is 216 cubic feet. And the amount of concrete that we'll be using is 1 cubic yard, which is a 4-foot radius and an 8-foot diameter. Now Rachel is going to be talking to you about the steel choice.
The steel we chose to build the sculpture is the brushed 304 stainless steel. It is strong, which meaning heavy duty. It is non-rusting, and it is worth the extra money in the long run because it is a quality type of steel, and it is also heat resistant.
We chose to go through O'Neill's because they had the cheapest rate, and it's also creating jobs for our Cedar Valley. And for 1 sheet of steel that is 5 foot by 10 foot, so 50 square feet, it's $166.32, and then we have a 12-cent shipping cost. And that's for the 304 brushed stainless steel, and it's 20 gauge.
The supplies, our concrete is getting donated by Norm Mulder. The 304 stainless steel is $166.32 per sheet, but we will only be needing 1 sheet. The filler rod and shielding gas is $30, and the silver spotlights, we're getting 2 2-packs for $15.78.
And here's the sheet layout, and it will be able to fit on 1 sheet of steel. And we'll just need a little bit extra because since we want to bolt them to the concrete, we're going to use little tabs to weld on to the sides of the tetrahedron so we can anchor them down to the concrete.
The budget we started out for in the beginning of this project was $400. Mr. Sack and Mr. Roney were kind enough to donate $400. Macy and her family will also donate money if needed. Concrete labor and concrete was donated by Norm Mulder, Macy's grandpa. The filler rod is $30. Steel from O'Neill's, $166.32. Yard lights, $15.78. The total turnout for this project was $212.10. We think our sculpture should be picked because it has a simple design that also catches people's eye. It also shows growth and character of our community and school district by the 6 pillars of character. I hope you liked our presentation and the changes we made to our sculpture. Also hoping that you learned something new while watching our presentation. Do you have any questions?
Will you flip back to your cookie cutter, your cutout? I just want to look at it. I may not ask any questions. Just want to look at it, okay?
Do you want me to zoom up?
No, I got good eyes. I'm good. Thank you, though.
How about safety, since you're lowering it from 9 feet and 6 feet, is that right? To 6 feet and 3 feet?
4.5 feet and 3 feet.
4.5 feet and 3 feet, yeah. So are they going to be sharp points at the top? So if we're talking 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, especially boys.
Well, I was thinking that we could grind it down.
Okay.
So it would be a flat surface and grind off the corners, so then it would be smoother and not as sharp.
Okay.
Your 3 bases there.
Yep.
mention, I got the 4.5 and the 3. What about those, the bases of each of those isosceles triangles?
These ones?
Yeah, on both of them, those, and then the other, there's those 3 and then those, yeah.
Okay, so around the outside edge of each one of these, it's
Yeah.
1.25 feet.
Okay, yep,
And then this one is 2 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet.
gotcha.
And they both come up to the same angles.
Mhm.
We calculated so they have the same angles.
Yep, very good.
We go back to your budget.
Mhm. This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so it looks like your materials are adding up to the cost of $212. So it's a difference, right? You still have money left
Mhm.
from your beginning donation. So really, you wouldn't need any donations from Macy's family.
Yeah. We just put that on there in case, like, in the beginning, my family and I decided that if we had extra costs that we needed to cover, that we would donate some money to bring that budget up.
And what do you think the cost of the concrete will be for Norm Mulder's donation?
Well, for 1 yard of concrete, it's about $100. And since they're my grandpa and grandma, I asked them, and they said they'd be willing to donate the labor and the concrete cost. And then labor, it just depends on how long it takes, but this is a smaller project than most basements are. I think that's,
About the only thing I really have to add is the thickness of the metal that we chose, that you chose is a 20 gauge, which is really thin. It's like a real thin, bendable, it actually only equals out to be a 32nd of an inch thick. So I feel like you probably are gonna need to make that a little bit thicker if you're gonna anticipate bending that and actually having something to try to weld onto and you don't want something that somebody's gonna be able to push in and just deaden it, just. So we're probably gonna have to increase that material cost a little bit. So it's good that you kind of, you're under budget, because I can foresee if you actually went to fabricate this thing, I'm gonna suggest something, along like 14 gauge or something like that to get a quote on something along that line. So obviously it's gonna increase your cost, but it's gonna be,
Will it still stay under, close to 400?
I bet you'd be really close to that,
okay.
yeah. So that's, just from a fabrication standpoint, I think that's where I'd roll with that.